Namaskara and welcome to a village story. One woman's journey from city chaos to village calm. I am Akshita and this podcast is my journey from the noise of the city to the stillness of the soil. Through honest reflections, everyday moments, and raw emotions, I will take you along as I navigate life in a small village, from marrying a farmer to rediscovering what truly matters. Whether you're someone dreaming of a slower life or simply looking to feel a little more grounded, you are in the right place. So grab a cup of chai, settle in, and let's begin. Today, the skies are heavy, the winds are playful, and it is raining as I record this. The kind of rain that soaks the trees, softens the earth, and hushes the world. Monsoon is a festival. Not the kind with lights and drums, but one with roaring thunders and quiet awakenings. It arrives with drama in the skies, but stillness in the soul. This monsoon, it reminds me of another, one that came 8 years ago in 2017. I was the new bride of the village. The monsoon of 2017 was relentless. It didn't just arrive, it claimed the skies. Days blurred into nights as the rain poured, steady and stubborn. Power cuts stretched endlessly, 2, sometimes 3 days in a row. The urge in me to become a villager was sincere. I wanted this life. But the urban woman in me, she wasn't ready to fade. She made her presence felt. In her restlessness, in her longing, in her refusal to be silenced. My phone, the only thread tying me to the life I had just left, died on day 2. And with the electricity gone, there was no way to charge it. Just to clarify, my husband's house, or our house now, was modest. No inverter, no backup luxuries, just 4 walls, the scent of damp earth, and the unpredictable rhythm of the rain. I remember lying there, curled up with a book, feeling like a scared animal in a dark corner, trying to make sense of this new life I had chosen. And amidst all this, the village women would keep dropping in. Curious eyes, warm smiles, and 100 unspoken questions. They came to see the new daughter-in-law, to assess, to welcome, to gently judge. I smiled politely, hiding my unease. Inside, I was still trying to find my footing between 2 lives that felt too far apart. And as the skies opened up, something inside me began to unravel. It didn't feel like it then, but now I know. That was the beginning of a metanoia. A quiet, inner shift that would take me years to name and even longer to understand. While the festival of monsoon was being celebrated by the natural world, I had arrived just in time for a different kind of celebration. In my husband's family, a sacred annual ritual was approaching, Paksha, a time to remember and honor the ancestors. A festival of reverence, rituals, and tradition. I had never heard of it before, let alone celebrated it. But in that moment, all I knew was the house was full and food needed to be cooked. A lot of food. Now, here's the thing. I didn't know the first thing about cooking. I had grown up in a home where everything was taken care of, and then spent years in Bengaluru where food was just a phone call or a short walk away. Restaurant, messes, street food, I had options. But here, I was in a place where even my phone seemed to have given up. No signal, no Google, no recipe. Just me and a mountain of groceries. Luckily, I wasn't alone. I had two co-sisters and a mother-in-law who knew the kitchen like the back of their hands. They moved with confidence and rhythm, while I was the awkward new recruit. Here, the kitchen was sacred, bustling, and strictly women only. The men didn't step in, not even by accident. It was a boundary both unspoken and unchallenged. It didn't take long for the women folk to realize that I was quite, useless in the kitchen. So they gave me a task that felt simpler, at least to them: washing the utensils. I was gently directed to the side portion of the house, the part that opens right out onto the village road. There was no counter, no tap, just an open space. A few big aluminium pots and a whole lot of curious stares from passers-by. To wash, I had to first get the water. That meant walking to the common village tap, joining the queue, and filling massive water pots to the brim. Then crouched on the ground, like a village version of a yoga pose, I began my new chore. What I thought would be simple turned out to be a whole coordination act. I fumbled, spilled, took ages to wash what would have taken them minutes. And as I crouched there, surrounded by steel plates, something slowly shifted. This wasn't just about washing utensils. It was my first true initiation into a life that was humbling me, one bucket of water at a time. Talking about water reminds me of an incident that still brings peals of laughter every time we revisit it. It was just my second evening in the house. The post-wedding buzz was still alive, and the house was full of relatives who had stayed back. My husband had gone in for a bath, and I was sitting in the hall, surrounded by people, most of whom I barely knew. One middle-aged man kept casting these strange, expectant glances in my direction. I couldn't make sense of it. He looked like he wanted me to do something, but I had no clue what. Finally, he broke the suspense and asked in the most matter-of-fact tone, "Your husband is bathing. Will you not go and scrub his back? Go, do your job." I swear my jaw dropped. Scrub his back? Seriously? I thought it was a joke. Surely someone in the room would laugh and reveal it was a prank. But no, they all just nodded, as if silently seconding his statement. Now, being the shy and unsure new bride that I was, I hesitated. But then I actually got up, walked to the bathroom door, and knocked. I asked my husband through the door in the most awkward voice, "Should I scrub your back?" He burst out laughing and shooed me away instantly. Thank God for that. Later that evening, he explained it to me. Apparently, in the village, it's not unusual. Wives scrubbing their husbands or even mother-in-law's backs during baths is just part of everyday life. Nothing weird about it. But then he chuckled and added, "Let's not make it part of our routine, okay?" Phew, what a relief. Now, just when I thought I had dodged the loofah for life situation, came the next surprise: inspections. Yes, in the village, everything gets inspected. Nothing is off limits. There were many, but one stands out so clearly, like it happened yesterday, not 8 years ago. It was a visit from an older lady, a friend of my mother-in-law from the village. She sat on the plastic chair in the hall and started exchanging laughter and updates with my mother-in-law. But her eyes had already found me. She looked me up and down, slowly, like she was decoding a mystery. I had changed out of my wedding finery by then. No jewelry, no bangles, no Mangalsutra. Just a pair of simple earrings and my usual comfort, a cotton t-shirt and pants. Her eyes widened and she turned to me directly and asked in her unfiltered rural Kannada, "Thai, why have you removed all your jewelry? Where are your bangles? Why are you wearing pants like a man? If not a sari, at least wear a kurta like most women do." I was stunned. My city-trained social code book had no script for this kind of directness. I didn't know whether to explain, smile, apologize, or just disappear. Thankfully, my husband was in the room. I looked at him helplessly, and without missing a beat, he smiled and responded, "Akka, why are you jealous of my wife? Should I get a pair of pants for you too? And if you gift her a set of gold bangles, she will happily wear them." The room burst into laughter. Loud, easy, unfiltered. That moment taught me something important. Village conversations aren't like city ones. They are not wrapped in politeness or diplomacy. They are raw, bold, full of banter. People speak their minds. They mock, tease, and say things that would sound rude anywhere else. But here, nobody takes it personally. That exchange was also my unofficial initiation into the world of colorful, rustic Kannada, a dialect full of affection, mischief, and more than a few words I never imagined I would one day use so fluently. That day, I realized that blending in wasn't just about clothing or cooking. It was about learning a whole new language of life. Looking back, I smile at how awkward and alien it all felt back then. The kitchen, the inspections, the silence of power cuts. It was hard, humbling, sometimes hilarious. But that is what change looks like, doesn't it? It rarely arrives quietly. It storms in like the monsoon and forces you to find new ways to live, to think, to be. Before I sign off, I want to leave with a small tip. Especially if you're going through your own season of change. Breathe, just be. Change isn't always loud or visible. Sometimes it's happening quietly beneath the surface. Surrender to it. Trust the discomfort. Let it teach you. Because it is in these in-between seasons, the messy, uncertain, not quite there moments, that we are being shaped into a version of ourselves we have never met before, but were always meant to become. Just like the monsoon softens the land before new life takes root, change softens us so something deeper can sprout. And now, 8 years later, I can tell you that monsoon didn't break me. It rebuilt me. If you're going through your own season of rain and mess, I hope you know you're not alone. Thank you for walking this journey with me, for listening, feeling, and holding space for this story. In the next episode, I will share what it was like to settle into a routine of walking to the farm, milking cows, scooping up cow dung, and lots more. If this episode spoke to you, I would love to hear your thoughts. Please drop a comment. Until then, keep breathing through your own seasons of change. Namaste and take care.